I'm addressing this menopause mucus, hardened mucus in your womb situation because I am a practitioner. I am studying to work with women in menopause as we speak. So I am looking to become an expert, and I'm actually an expert right now because I'm a woman going through it. Okay, so when I see men come up on social media talking about menopause is mucus, hardened mucus in the womb, and that it could go away once we get rid of the mucus, I want to slap somebody with a boot. Okay, because it's utter nonsense. And I've been seeing this online from men, melanated men in particular, who call themselves healers or call themselves people who are herbalists or people who are working to help us heal. But they are so misinformed about what menopause is. Okay, they're so misinformed about women's health, and they don't know anything about it. They don't ask women. They just go on the assumption of hearing it from somebody else. Or they take what they learned from Dr. Sebi and saying, oh, well, mucus is dis-ease. Yes, I was a follower of Dr. Sebi, God rest his soul, to the ancestor. Big ups to the ancestors. He opened me up to a lot of things. But the one thing that I've never heard Dr. Sebi say is that menopause is caused by mucus. Okay. And if you know anything about the reproductive system, which it goes to show me that some of these brothers in these communities don't know a damn thing about reproduction or how the reproductive system works, especially in women, that menopause is a part of our cessation of having a menstruation. It's about a woman's womb is about her hormones and about her eggs and her, just everything that encompasses what's inside of our womb. And for someone to just deduce it to the fact of hardened mucus in your womb is why you're getting menopause just lets me know the ignorance level is profound when it comes to women's health, especially when it's coming from men. So I wanted to come on here because I was livid when I saw that. And I'm only livid just as a businesswoman who is currently working with women right now who are talking about their experiences. And this is real to us. Okay. And it turns into other issues if we're not really talking about this in the proper context, if we're not talking about this in the right way. And so I think it's important for us to get the right information. Like, I've seen women in this person's post about mucus being in the womb hard and agreeing with this man. And I'm like, how are you as a woman agreeing with what this man is saying just because he speaks on natural wellness, just because he has herbs and he does herbal work does not mean he knows anything about a woman's womb and how it operates and how the changes hormonally happen in women. And just the same as I could get up here and I could say all kinds of crazy, wicked things about boys and puberty and men going through a change, but I don't know anything about that. And I'm not an expert on it, and I'm not going to speak on it. You know what I mean? I'm only going to speak on the experiences that I'm having as a woman, and I'm going to respect spaces where men are talking about their health, especially when they're talking about things that matter to them. That includes semen retention. Men are talking about those things in certain circles. Men are talking about impotence in certain circles. Men are talking about changes that they are experiencing as they get older, or just talking about puberty with young boys. And I'm respecting those spaces. You know why? Because I have no business as a woman to be telling any man or any boy how their body works. I have no business. And I'm a mother of a son. I'm a grandmother of 3 grandsons. So for me to get up here and start talking all of this nonsense about men's health and what's going on with them, I can't. There's no place for me to do that. Okay, I leave it to the experts, the men who know about their bodies, the men who understand their bodies, the men who who share their stories. I hold space for them, and I respect that. I would never get up here and tell a man how his body operates and argue with him. This dude was arguing with women in his comments about menopause. Dude, you don't know anything about that. How could you sit there and make these assumptions about what you think because you heard it from somebody else, or because you're taking a theory or something that Dr. Sebi said and you're twisting it in your own little way so that you can get more clients to buy your herbs, so you can get more women to ride your jock? No, let me not. So you get more women to agree with that nonsense? I mean, it's crazy. So I'm coming as part of a holistic practitioner, like I said, coming as a woman in business who is looking to support my community of women who are going through this change in life, who are experiencing real symptoms and real things that are going on. And I'm not allowing this community of holistic people, more in particular holistic men, who are using alkaline diets and alkaline theories in order to diagnose your menopause and to downgrade your menopause and tell you that menopause is going to end because you need an alkaline diet. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay? And so I'm saying to you, to any woman that's listening to this, or any woman that is supporting those guys, you need to stop and you need to go to your doctor and you need to find out what's going on with you specifically by your symptoms, and stop believing in the nonsense that you got hardened mucus in your womb and this is why you're experiencing menopause. That's ludicrous. Okay, so I just want to put that out there, and I want put that PSA out there because I think it's crazy, and I'm gonna be on the horn about it for a minute because I'm seeing it more and more. These brothers that are in these holistic communities, these natural communities, telling you that you need to have an alkaline womb. You need to have an alkaline coochie so you don't get menopause. That's basically what they're saying. Is you got to have an alkaline womb so that you don't get menopause. Otherwise, you're going to have hard mucus in your womb causing you to have menopause. It even sounds silly. And so my thing is that if you understand that women are born with all the eggs that they will ever have in their life, in their womb, and when they utilize those eggs and their period stops coming, then they begin to go through menopause. Okay, and the symptoms vary from woman to woman. Not every woman is going to have the same symptoms of menopause. Not all of us are going to have night sweats and hot flashes. Some of us are going to have joint pain. Some of us are going to have memory issues. Some of us are going to have heart issues. Some of us are going to have high blood pressure and don't know why. And we may not even change our diet. Many of us are going to gain hormonal weight that cannot be worked off in the gym. These are things that are going to happen to us biologically because our body is changing. We're going into a eldership. We're going into a new realm that is beautiful and it needs to be celebrated. So when someone comes in and says that you got hardened mucus in your womb, that is very disturbing and it's offensive, especially when it's coming from someone who is not biologically a woman. And so it boils my blood because we out here really trying to help women whose grandmas, aunties, and relatives did not talk to them about this change that's happening in life. It's just showing up in a lot of us. And we're trying to figure out, oh my God, I got this shoulder pain. Where the hell is it coming from? Well, a part of that is menopause because you have a hormonal change that is affecting your entire body. And it's affecting the way you think. It's affecting the way you eat. It's affecting everything about you. And when someone just deduces it just boils my blood. I'm like repeating myself. But the thing is that there's real education that needs to be had on both levels, male and female. The men in our lives need to understand that this is not just something that's just going to go away. The mood swings are not just going to go away. These are things that we're going to go through for the rest of our lives. And so we need to help them understand how to look at it as a real situation and not something as all you need to do is detox. It's not just about detoxing. It's a life change. And if they can respect that, we can work together in our relationships for, harmony. I have a wonderful man in my life right now, and he's like so understanding about the things that I'm going through. He literally goes to the doctor with me when I ask him to go. And he is curious about these things because it betters, not just betters him understanding what's going on with me, but it shows me that I have someone in my corner who's really supportive of the changes that's happening in my life and is really serious about my health, just as I am serious about his health. It's an exchange, and we have to do this in our communities because there's relationships that are breaking up because of this change that's happening. There's relationships that there's misunderstandings, and there's women who are experiencing things where they might want their mate, but they can't physically have relations or intimate relations with them because they're going through something. And for men to understand that and not say, well, I'm just going to go to somebody else, learn and understand your woman, just like women learn and understand your man. You understand? Like, if you really about that and this is your person and this is the person you want to rock out with, for however long or whatever investments y'all got together as a team, learn them. You know what I mean? The body, the physical body and how it works and how intrinsically different one person is to the next person. Like, my womb is not the same as every other woman's womb out there. Just like his phallus is not the same as every other man's phallus out there. And so he's specific to how he eats, to how he thinks, to how he takes care of his body. He's very specific, and I'm going to treat him like that, just like I'm very specific and he's treating me like that. And that's how we have to look at it. So when you have these men who call themselves herbalists and they're out there and they're doing this work, you have to do your due diligence and do your research about who these people are and how they think and what their belief system is and how they respect women on a deeper level. Because for a man to come out and say that menopause is about hardened mucus in your womb, he don't respect a woman enough to learn about her adequately to put out proper information to help. He's only a tool to disrupt and destroy. And I come up against stuff like that because as a woman who's out here been doing this womb work for a very long time with other women, I think it's unfair for a man to step in a woman's place and tell a woman what's going on with her body and be real serious about that shit, and then go back and try to use Dr. Sebi's principles in order to tie it up and say, oh, okay, well, my womb is not alkaline. I got mucus in my alkaline. That's why I'm going through menopause. No, anybody who's taken health class knows very well that the reproductive system is all about going from puberty and going into post-menopause. There's no way in the world that you can make a decision that is the mucus in the womb and negate the eggs and the fallopian tube and how that works and how you get your cycle. And then, again, for those people who are out there talking about we're not supposed to have a cycle, that's a whole nother thing for me, because I'm like, we believe this nonsense that people are spewing up because they want to push an alkaline agenda. They want to push an agenda about veganism and all these other things and not have the right information. We're not supposed to have a cycle. No, we're not supposed to bleed heavy. We're not supposed to have dysfunctional cycles. But in order for you to be able to be a fertile person, to give birth to a child, something needs to happen in order to help you do that. So when I hear people talk about you're not supposed to have a period and you're not supposed to do this, that, and the third, I have to bypass all of that ignorance, because it's ignorance coming out of a community that means well and wants to do well, but is misinformed by miles. You know what I'm saying? There are doctors out there, and I don't agree with the Western medical system all the time, maybe like 80% of the time. But I could tell you that some of the things that they do have information on is accurate to some degree. When you're talking about a woman shouldn't have a cycle biologically, I can't see how that could be possible and you give birth to children. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always learning, but I will never spread that rhetoric at all as a woman who gave birth to children, as a woman who is going through menopause. I will never spread any type of nonsense out there that is coming from this holistic community that they just have their own hypothesis on what is right and what is wrong, and sit there and tell you that something that is happening to your body is only because you're mucus ridden. That's crazy to me. And it's reckless and it's irresponsible. And anytime that I see something like that, I'm definitely going to address it. As a womb worker, as a mother, as a grandmother, as a woman who advocate for other women and who support other women, and your experiences are valid, I would never allow anybody to go out there and put that information. If you guys see this and you don't believe in it, rip it apart. Because it doesn't make sense for a brother to be out here talking this kind of nonsense about menopause when he has no clue. He probably doesn't even have a lady at home. And I'll leave it there.